Okay, peace be upon you. Gonna look at your weekend energy. Know that I'm not gonna be available for the time being. I'm sorry that you do not find the lives, you don't get notifications and all of that, because we have been connecting there. But hey, everything happens for a reason, right? But that doesn't mean I'm not here to assist those who cannot really find us in the lives as well. So augmentation, okay? Ignorance. Parents. Projects. Embarrassment. Intimidation, confusion, indecision. Conflict. Inner conflict. Deception, emotional manipulation, and the victory upcoming. You're leaving a lot of things behind. All of these. Look, reverse, 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 reverse. And we get an upright. 7. 7 is your number. So we started off with you either swimming against the tides, needing to push through. It's a miracle you got this far, right? Constant betrayal, not having a clear idea on who is with you, who's against you. At this point, everybody. Your emotional needs have never been met or fulfilled. No reciprocation, no truth, no honesty, no help, no guidance. No clarity, no one to talk to, or you not being able to get through to others, or not understanding others having a negative attitude towards you. Let's just say that you haven't met people who are well disposed towards you. Welcome to the club. It doesn't mean there was something wrong with you. Usually it's quite the contrary. You were something that they didn't know how to process, or so they immediately attacked. The same way our own egos start attacking whatever appears to be either new or different, or by telling us, oh, it's never going to happen for me. No, sit here, you're doing amazing right here, even though it's not true, and so on. Sabotages things, we react impulsively, defensive attacks, attempting to strategize. It's self-preservation, right? It's other people's self-instinct, counterfeit instinct of they're protecting their own reality. So what does that mean? That whatever you embody triggers or challenges their own worldviews or beliefs, or they thought they had it all figured out until then, boom, destiny. Karma, right? 7, justice, and they perceive you as something that they would have rather not have to deal with. They would have preferred to keep on going with their illusions and false beliefs and convictions, and it worked for them until they met you. They couldn't raise up to the task or the challenge that you presented. You did so by mere existence, for what you were, what you embodied energetically. And so hence the either defensive, resistant, and even abusive or violent response to your mere presence. Because again, you were something that they were not either prepared for, or would have preferred not to have met. It either instilled what their ego translated as shame, guilt, feeling insufficient or a failure, or so they may have felt as if you're judging them, or because you tried to live by a certain set of moral values, and right, honesty, sincerity, you aspire to something that others may have even defined as foolish, idealistic, considered you problematic because of that. Some may have attempted to exploit you precisely because they deemed you a creature that is rather naive, for the very least. So that reveals their own perspective of the world, which is very dark and gloomy and materialistic and toxic and competitive and exploitative and dark, destructive. Take what you can, every man for themselves. Everything, the ends justify the means. They had it coming, right? If they're foolish and if they're vulnerable, if they chose to love me even though I'm not worthy of being loved, if they chose to be honest even though I am obviously a dishonest, manipulative person, and so on and so forth. So it's that fated encounter. Maybe whatever your perception of yourself may be, you're not someone who just is easily forgotten or is of no relevance, or no matter how much you or other forces have tried to dim you, push you back, put you back in a corner, silence you, break you, define you, label you. You held on strong. But what that means is that you embody an energy that others don't know how to handle. Most don't even recognize. So a defense mechanism is triggered. So they attack in order to defend whatever it is that they need to continue to believe in order for their reality to make sense. So in other words, your very existence ruins the bullshit of others. Not everybody can receive light. If they're not ready for it, they're gonna fight against it. Some people simply do not even entertain the possibility of actual kindness or a loving, selfless soul, or no. To them, it's a mirage. So they will project some form of a guilt or try and destroy whatever you embody or represent. And they will attack your values, your nature. They will put you to the test. They will push your boundaries, offend, humiliate you, exploit you, and so on. Precisely because they do not believe that you are whom they know you to be. So they will try their best to destroy the external manifestation of the voice of their own guilty or heavy conscience calling them to transformation. They would rather destroy you rather than begin that difficult task. So it's cowardice. That's what you've been dealing with. The spirit of cowardice that works through all of us. You went against, defied all odds, went against or experienced reality as if you were going against everything and anything. As in navigating despite, regardless. At one point you may have even lost any understanding of why you'd actually keep going at this point. So, disappointment, karma obviously. Nothing ever worked out for you. There seemed to be no hope, no options for you. And even there where you were willing to push against something, to work hard for it, to stay on the narrow path and walk that straight line, it still didn't work for you. You're always called to very difficult choices, constantly humiliated, put in situations that you've always known that you had no place being. And when it comes to what was offered to you, it was all a lie. always corrupt and deceptive. The good news is there is a victory here. I felt her. There she is. There you are, beloved. Beliebte. Indecision. It's your nature. Take it. I do see something here. Ambition. Time to focus on the practical. Expand. Whether this mentally, spiritually, and don't fear conflict. It's time you stand up. Now understand what you're up against. Stop making excuses for others. Understand what you're dealing with. You've developed the strength, the experience now. Were they right? Are you naive? And if so, what's so wrong about that? You can be both naive and very discerning at the same time. Can't ya? Just have to make the distinction. Okay, this is a charlatan, this is a buffoon, this is a player, this is a liar. Recognize the spirits. We struggle not against flesh and blood. This is a child, this is a flower, this is a precious angel, this is love, this is beauty, this is friendship, right? Recognize, distinguish, and act accordingly. Do not fear conflict. The sovereign. Everybody's coming after someone without understanding what forces move this being here. If you go against her, you go against her entire bloodline. She's so advanced, whereas if touching her means harming yourself. Clôture, Four of Pentacles. Your blessings have been stripped from you. Someone stole from you. Meddled with your destiny repeatedly. This speaks loudly of, well, your shadow, which seems to tie in with that spirit spouse energy. Until you integrate it, it will work against you. It's your enemy. And it starts working externally for others. It keeps trying to call you to see it through others, right? Because you've attempted to only cultivate virtue, even there where you were supposed to actually know the dark aspects, right? In order to alchemize them. And no, you try to choose only virtue. So indeed, you did idealize, you did stray from truth at one point, under the guises of love at all costs. Even there where you didn't have the necessary elements for you to justify your choice to love. And it's not even that. It's not about the choice to love. It's your persistence, or you're insisting in defining what love is. And therefore failing to recognize what it is not. So you wanted to see the good in people, in other words. Even there where they themselves chose not to. Effect. The Nine of Pentacles. Independence. Something's coming back around for you. Against all odds. It's time for some blessings. I see gifts. I see you accepting the fact that the revelation of you having made it all this way, all on your own, not only not having support, but despite all the forces working against you, within, without, doesn't matter. So this translates in independence, knowing oneself, being secure in oneself, gratefulness and gratitude, serenity and joy, prosperity. In a practical sense, it means honors, gifts, being rewarded for merit based on past actions, past positive actions or efforts. So you either may receive contacts from people you would have never expected, understand how God works, right? And when they're ready, they may seek to contact you either to apologize, to reveal what you've, what the connection with you in the long run, no matter the fallout or the clash, what it led them into, right? Because they couldn't escape past that point, no matter what they did. You stuck with these people, and you had an impact far past whatever you can understand right now. And either you receive compliments, acknowledgement, apologies, gifts, proper respect, consideration, attention, and so on. And there's also obviously the fact that you are a person that most people would like to be around at this point. But you're gonna have to choose those people wisely. So even if you have a connection with someone, try not to repeat the mistakes from the past. Don't let it turn into something rather karmic. No, the work is done. You're done. You have no more lessons to learn. You're teaching no one anything. You are your own beautiful self. Share your light with the world and release it. Let it go where it's supposed to do its thing, and so on. But also know when you are being attacked, humiliated, right, disrespected, and stand your ground. Cut those energies out immediately. You're coming out of confusion. There's still some powerful indecision here because there are choices that will impact your physical, practical reality, financially, stability-wise, comfort. You do have needs, and you have to start one by one tending to those needs, addressing them, taking them more seriously, and working towards, slowly but surely, fulfilling all of those needs. So start with the first level. Main needs: health, security, food, shelter, mental, physical, emotional, spiritual health. Cut out whatever's not necessary. Take it more seriously, one at a time, as they arise, and start addressing them. Find that balance. In a financial sense, sell what you don't need. Remember to extend even there where you feel you have nothing. You can always extend something to others, so that you open up back the flow of abundance. Give, bestow, with no expectations, not only to those you care about, to complete strangers, with no expectations, so that nobody also gets to exploit you anymore. Speak truthfully, according to what you truly feel, not what you would want to feel or what. Don't get confused or stuck in desires anymore. Be practical, rational, advance steadily. Don't expect any help, because whomever may come right now, they come because they're seeking to take, not give. And stop pouring into broken vessels, watering plants in the desert. They're dead. Nothing's gonna happen. The sterile, the unloving, the toxic, the broken, the shattered vessel cannot contain light, right? You can pour in it as much as you want. Do it at your own expense. Lesson learned. Victory is about passion, creativity, courage, persistence, willpower, healing, fertility. Therefore, that is both in ideals and physical wise, financial and practical, prosperity wise as well, social life as well, long-term goals and aspirations as well, nuggets of inspired ideas, of clarity, of warm illumination unfolding within your chest. It's just so beautiful. It brings serenity to your mind as well, balances out your energies. This also speaks of you finding the proper solutions when it comes to diet, or you're cutting out things, you're removing, you're preparing for a transformation here. You're very courageous, standing your ground. And there's now, you're moving from rather inner knowing and intuition, rather from mere rational intellect or false perception of yourself, aka shadow self. Casualty. Powerful week ahead. You're preparing. All of this is going. Sensation of scarcity or being undeserving, and it ties in also with family trauma, karmic debt that you were supposed to pay as being one of the last generation. This is where it all ends. The wheel can only go up until a certain point, and then you see it, and we have a saying here: may the wheel be square as well, it will still turn once if pushed. So that's what's happening. Divine intervention turns the wheel to restore, to correct. So the ones below go up. The ones that trampled over all else all and everything else, go down. You cannot have compassion for them now. It's not about compassion. It's not up to you to really offer it. We can feel sorry, we can pray, but this is a natural consequence, correction, right? You went through your own, others need to go through it as well. It may affect you to have to witness that. You don't wish harm upon anyone, but that's what is happening. The wheel needs to spin against all odds. So prosperity is opening up for you. No more scarcity. No need to either receive validation, confirmation, or reciprocity. It either is there or it's not. Able, therefore, to immediately recognize deception, violent attitude towards you, or aggressive, should I say. Nothing's worse than spiritual violence, by the way. Trying to forgive your parents, release, integrate, and reconnecting with your ancestors. Remembering, also you're going to remember, not at a rational level. There's this update that brings back with memory and remembrance as the timelines merge, the whole package of all of your previous states. But if you were to have to process mentally, you would lose your mind. You understand that, right? So don't worry, it's processed. Sleep as much as you can. Careful of your intake, substances, liquids, etc. Try not to take any more objects or items from anyone else. Try and do a fast if you can. Fasting. Cups. And try and, bless your water as usual. Try not to consume anything sacrificial, anything containing, suffering or, coming from suffering. So, you know your own health, you decide. Either way, there's a need for you to get the proper things that your body needs and calls for. Start with the cleanse and the purge, and then start adapting, because you're going to find out that you're transformed. Many of the things you felt you wanted or you liked to eat, to consume, no, you don't. So great revelations coming, choices to make. Again, these are the choices and the changes that you're making. The ability to multitask and transition with ease. This is also an energy of you being looked at. Again, you're not someone that can just constantly try and hide or get themselves in that, I'm humble. That's not what humility is. Humility is in heart and attitude. We would love to always have the possibility and the honor to love others as we would like to be loved ourselves. Sadly, it's not always possible. So cultivate there where it's possible, and go through the painful interactions in order there where you are called to either draw lines in the sand, speak the truth, etc. Be brave and strong, stand strongly, and remember, they don't define you, neither are you defining them. You're just speaking a truth. And yes, even if it's subjectively yours, you have all the right to. So does anybody else, and then you see where do you meet. But in most cases, no, they don't. That's the problem. They're deceptive. So once the moment you are willing to choose to live in truth, whatever that may be, regardless of anyone else's perception of you, people see you as being extremely capable, holding momentum, being able to be anything and everything at once, and having a knowing of thyself that goes beyond just personas, other people's perception. You're no longer conditioned. This is authenticity, presence, adaptation. It's also a joyful, creative spirit. But don't expect to not be looked at, right? Observed, studied. You may inspire others, but of course amidst them there will be those who are triggered by it. So understand. Therefore, some very nefarious kind of offers may come towards you, attempt to either corrupt you or find out who you are. Whoa, this mystical creature, look at her going, and right? Despite her trials, she's still going, she's still doing it somehow, right? So it also shows skills, ability. Throughout the trials, that's what you've shown. Mastery, self-mastery, resilience, faith. The fact that not all of us are moved merely by just personal desires of sorts that tie in with the material world, and some of us needed to grasp onto something higher than that, right? Beyond just mere survival. Or So that's a level of faith that's just, and going despite you not having anything to actually genuinely, in a practical, tangible sense, grasp onto, as in what moves this person, what is she hoping to get out of this, or he, or well, nothing. She's not expecting much, and that can be a problem, right, though, as well. Now from that extreme, whereas again it may have worked against you, because at this point you may be tired, disheartened, and you're still going despite, that's the miracle here. No emotional fulfillment, betrayal, confusion, no genuine opportunities for you. The world itself resisted you and those like you because it was fallen in its lowest state that it could have ever fallen into. But this new world is different. So look towards the new world. Okay. Powerful week for you.